and Dad are taking the Mustang to go put it on the dyno. It's back there. Dad says hello.
Hi.
But, yeah, we're on the way. Wanted to add a little disclaimer to this video, guys. I did 100% of the tuning on the Mustang, even on the dyno, so I don't want anybody to, you know, say the guy that was running the dyno was at fault for anything, or, you know, causing me to not make the horsepower that, you know, or whatever. I did 100% of the tuning. I've never really tuned, and I did all right. Car still has a lot left in it, and we just didn't push it any further because of the restriction that we have. Is just creating unnecessary heat, and there's no point. So I just wanted to clarify that I did 100% of the tuning. Nobody else tuned it. He just ran the dyno, and he drove the car on the dyno, and I sat in the passenger seat with the laptop watching air fuel ratio, adjusting timing, adjusting fuel, adjusting boost levels, and everything from there. But here's the video, guys, and thanks for watching, of course.
Hi everybody, so we're just changing fuel this time on the second run. First run, it was just whatever Tyler come in with off the street, and this is the first time we actually have full boost controller working. It only made about 6 pounds of boost, but sounded all right, but it was chooching black smoke pretty good. So this next run will be a little bit of fueling adjustment. We leaned it out some.
Alright, so I just want to go over the last two dyno runs. The first dyno run was off the street, like my dad said. So we made no adjustments. It was on 4 or 5 pounds boost. And I learned that my tune was far off. Also, I have learned that wasn't making near as much power as I thought. But I've never had anything with over 250 wheel, so this is my first car that makes over that. It made 250 wheel NA, So the fact that it made 286, I think I saw, and 293 torque. You're gonna see in the next run, well, you already seen it lost some power, and that's due to, we pulled some fuel out, and it's not that it didn't like it. We left Holly corrections turned on, and Holly was shooting back and forth, trying to adjust because it was confused. We pulled some fuel out of the base map, and it was confused, and it made less power because of that. So I don't remember how much less it made, but it did make less torque and less horsepower. So you're gonna see in this next run here, we took even more fuel out, and it picked up quite a bit. So
okay, so we pulled out some more fuel. Run number 3. Like that. So this next run we were added 3 degrees across the board of timing. They really liked the fuel adjustment last time around, so here we go on this one.
So I noticed Dad didn't add any comments here, but that's no big deal. I'm just reviewing the editing, of course. And I think right here we added even more timing, and it picked up even more. So here's that code. So we changed boost ramp. Tried to make the turbo come in sooner, see if it'll make more boost up top. So we're starting to mess with boost.
guess I was holding the phone wrong. So as I was saying, we changed boost ramp, and we're just going in. That was the same timing and stuff like that. Just changed boost ramp, and we're trying to get a reference signal off the turbo versus the map sensor.
All right, so I just want to clarify here. Look at the doggies. Anyway, I just want to clarify that what he's talking about is we increased the boost and we went into an area on my timing table that we haven't messed with timing yet, so it made less power with more boost because the timing was just that bad. So also we noticed that the boost pressure that I'm commanding, we're not seeing that on the map sensor, and we figured out really quick why that is. So he had a thing for his dyno to show boost pressure, and we hooked that to the turbo, and then we also monitored the map sensor, and we were data logging and stuff, and we figured out what's going on there. So anyway, that's why it made less power with more boost.
All right, folks, so we found out a problem. We are reading boost on the turbo side and boost at the map sensor, and we have a 50% loss on what the turbo is making versus what the engine's seeing for boost. We think it's a problem with our intercooler for sure. Either not big enough, or something's going on, or we got leaks, pressure leaks. We're gonna crank the boost up on this next run and see if we can overcome that problem to at least get a little bit better power number. Okay, we added some timing. Okay, so boost controller problems now. We've just unhooked it, and we're going to rely on whatever spring Tyler's got in there to see. We got boost cut set at 14, so we'll see what happens.
All right, so I just want to clarify here too that what he's talking about with the spring, relying on the spring, is this time we disconnected the boost controller, but we also disconnected the pressure source that hooks up to the bottom of the gate, which aids the spring in opening. So now the only thing that can open the wastegate to regulate boost pressure is the exhaust pressure, which means it's going to make a lot more boost, and it did. But this is the problem we're talking about, is on the map sensor it saw 14 pounds of boost, but on the turbo side of the intercooler, or from the turbo, it was making 20 pounds of boost. We were losing 6 pounds of boost from one side of the intercooler to the other, according to our map sensor. So That's a big problem. Our intercooler, we think, is the problem. It's only a 2-inch intercooler, and it has one core, and the tanks are very small, and also it was custom made by me and Dad, and it doesn't have the greatest flow characteristics, so we're pretty sure the intercooler is the problem. But we wanted to make at least 400 wheel, so we went ahead and did this boost thing here to try and see if it would just make it, and you'll see if it does.
Made something there. 4. Oh yeah, they was happy there. Still got something going on through there. A little timing adjustment.
Okay, so you can see there it made 413 wheel horsepower and 409 foot-pounds of torque at 14 pounds of boost. Got to keep in mind this is a low compression engine, so it takes more boost to make, you know, the same amount of power that a higher compression engine would make. So that's not too bad. There was some timing probably to be had there. Where my dad was talking about where we got to do some work on the graph is we weren't really adjusting timing in the lower portion, just up when it's in boost, and that would probably make the turbo spool faster if we adjusted timing to get the turbo to ramp sooner, but we just haven't really messed with that, so that's what he's talking about. But anyway, it made 400 wheel. We were pretty happy with that, and due to our intercooler issue, we just decided to call it quits. All right, we're headed back. Conclusion is intercooler is too small. It doesn't flow enough air, so we get restrictions. That's why it's never made exactly what the wastegate spring is. But even we made it make more boost for a little bit, and it made where I wanted for power. So if we can fix the restriction, and
it's gonna make exactly what you wanted.
It'll make 400 or 500 horse, no problem. So, but here's a little street clip I wanted to throw in for you guys. What it feels like on the street. So here you go. It's very hot today. It's 90 degrees. But I wanted to go make a couple rips for you guys and show you how this thing pulls way different now with the new tune. It's got the same tires on it as the last video. Everything's the same but the tune. So, and well, it's on like 7 pounds I think right now, and then it falls off to about 5 pounds. So, but everything else is exactly the same. So, I want to show you guys how this thing pulls real quick. See what it's going to do on these little street tires. It's probably going to blow them off. Oh yeah. Much faster.
parts to install.